That's a level 14 AWOL. Holy crap. 16, 14 compared to 7. Thumbnail. Do we want to make that the thumbnail? It's more of a toenail. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, which means it's review night. We're going to be taking a look at a whole bunch of viewer-submitted games, break them down, see what we can learn, see what fun we can have, and oh boy, there is a lot of them, so let's get to it. What's going on, chat? How are we doing tonight? Is there going to be any variety tonight? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think we're going to have time because there's just a lot of games to get through. Technically, we don't have to do that many. The goal each week, as I always mention, is 10 a week. And I'm going to have to see how we do this in the new year, because what I might do is if we split games into the other streams in any given weekend, I may just splice them, like pull them out and then add them to like one big viewer breakdown grouping, because in 2023, I don't plan on putting up every single stream on YouTube like I do now. I'm probably only going to put up segments or do recordings offline. I'm going to take a different strategy for YouTube going forward. We'll have to see. But we'll play it by ear. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future, so look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. Both made kind of unique openers, and it makes for a tense game. End is calculated. GG. Alright, Hero Sivadas here in the blue trunks on Phobopolis. As I mentioned last night, I want to say, last stream, I've not been doing very well on Phobopolis as of late. Now, admittedly, a lot of the games are async, so it's just kind of whatever, and I don't really pay attention, but I don't really have an end game state that I'm trying to work towards with or for Phobopolis. Generally, what I try and do is get my lobbers online. Hopefully, I can catch my opponent somewhere and then snowball the advantage into something. Instead, we see, and I typically open with Snowball and a 1 key. Instead, here we see Gravediggers showing up, which I don't mind on this map. I have seen some of my opponents do what Bad Guy did here, breaking this one so you can get the straight run to this obstacle. Because then both of your, quote-unquote, your panic points, you can get to with the 1 key with their first set of moves. Not necessarily one move, but first set of moves. Whereas our hero Sivadas has elected to break the other block here, and I'm not really sure why. We'll have to see if this plays in, but I'm not clear on why that obstacle got broken. Similarly, this basically the same one, well, the mirrored one, I guess, on the other side gets broken by Bad Guy. Again, I'm not really clear on why. I have yet to, I mean, against, say, a Noxious or something, you know, you get where Ginseng, Cat, and Jar are, and you get into this awkward spot where you can't, you end up clustering and you don't want to, but I'm not sure what Bad Guy's trying to set up here. I guess this does open up additional lanes for Innocuous here, but Innocuous could be 1, 2, 3. Well, if Innocuous is where the Crushmore is, it can target the middle without easily being hit by Jar. I don't know, it seems a little weird. Instead, we're getting a bunch of breaks, like, in seemingly strange locations. Like, what did this Gravedigger break down here? What? This Gravedigger broke this block. I don't understand. Hey, Kraos, what's good? I'll be honest with you, I don't really grok why these things are happening. Like, what are these obstacles getting broken for? I am typically pretty aggressive with my Crushmores, arguably too aggressive, Because I will frequently send them in to their doom, either capping the middle to block this point here, or send them to the sides, well, top and bottom really, to block these off, and then section off the map. Now, breaking this one down here where Gravedigger is means that you can't easily isolate this panic point. I don't know. No, that's fine, Gilbo. Just put another one in the sheet, and then let me know which one you want me to do. And I'll just flip them. That's fine. We've had that before, where people said, oh, wait, this is a better game. Let's do that one instead. And that's fine. So we're getting a big standoff here. Panic point advantage has flipped a couple times. We don't, but banks to 10 and 11 respectively. Guess who got another easy win at Sivadas? Were you playing against Sivadas, or what do you mean, Skrunkle? I mean, here, I legitimately don't understand what's going on in this game right now. I kind of want to take a minute to talk about this, because as I said, I've been struggling with Phobopolis. And to me, a lot of the games that I've been throwing have been... I mean, I'm not throwing them intentionally, I'm losing them. And it's mostly because I'm not paying attention. You know, I'm just doing stuff. This match is confusing you? Yeah, that's why I want to take a second to talk about it, but... I have no idea why there's such an emphasis on demolishing these obstacles. I guess it's just, both players don't want to overextend, get involved in a fight that I can't necessarily win, so I'm just gonna free up space. You know, it's like just idly doing something. I don't know, Sivadas, let us know, or Bad Guy, if you're watching this, let us know what the mentality is for breaking these, because right now, I don't see anything that's standing out to me of, like... Neither side has, say, something that's punishing clustering. Well, now we do. We have the Hevo. Neither side was really doing much else that was saying, hey, you have to react in this way. Why the double creep and pointless breaks? I don't understand what the creeps I can kind of understand on the Crushmores. Sort of. The breaks, I don't understand at all. Like that's why I was pointing it out. So we get a Muffin here to wipe away the creep. Sure. When I think of idling Phobies, I think Unicorn just covering the map. I did that in a async game. My opponent just we got into the stalemate on step right up. So I just basically planned to cover the entire map in traps eventually. It was taking forever, but I got a lot of traps out there. So we're getting the showdown between Chuck and Hevo. Honestly, I think I'd rather have Chuck. I think I'd rather have Chuck in this scenario. Because the Chuck, obviously, with the range advantage, can just sit back there safely. 9 keys to 11 remaining. So Bad Guy does have an advantage. They will win the 1-key trading war. You think 3.0 is better here? I don't know. So this Chuck is a level 11, 585, so it'll one-shot the jar. And Bad Guy has, like, no way to contest it. As long as you don't have anything near the Chuck at the time, because then, say, Hevo could advance and hit it. I don't know, it feels like there's not much they can do about it. Why does the alien have such far range? So the Innocuous is a range 3. This family of Phobies, Innocuous, Attractor, and Repeller, are arguably the most problematic in the game, in my opinion. Varying levels for each of them, they're not all equally bad. Attractor, to me, is the most problematic Phobie in the entire game, like far and away. Yeah, Innocuous gets up there on damage. 4 keys. It's only 1 move, though, and it's not a lob, it's a regular range. But yeah, all of them, by the way, are range 3, this whole family. It's 4, 5, and 6. The 5 cost is an AoE boop. The 6 cost is an AoE yoink. Just wait until you see those, Gilbo. I know you've been out of the game for a little bit, so you didn't see these. They are busted. Busted. Evo 3.0 feels good on any map. I mean, Evo is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that Evo 3.0 is bad. Certainly not on Phobopolis. But I think in this scenario, if I had to choose, I would rather have this Chuck than this Hevo. I don't know. Let me know what you think, YouTube. Let me know down in the comments. Yep, we get a little oopsie baby action. See, like, this is the thing. So the Chuck could come in, or the Hevo could come in, and hopefully Hero recognizes that the Ginsting's got to move. But it's 8 keys to 4 now. What is bad guy supposed to do? Anything that sets foot in the range is going to get lit up. Either a disturbance of the Force or we're in a different universe where I've not eaten dinner yet. It could just be daylight savings, Taco. There is, in fact, an Oopsie Baby. I want to use Oopsie Baby more. I haven't quite figured out the scenario where I want it yet. I feel like this is a bad map for Oopsie Baby. There's too many... Oh my god, Sivadas. I didn't know you had beauty. Did we know Sivadas had beauty? Wrong map for it. I'd agree, DT. I feel like you want a much more open map for Oopsie Baby. But Chuck and beauty... This is going to be an uphill battle for bad guy. Beauty on Phobopolis is pretty good. Because you can get in, you can laser something down, and then get out. Now, Sivadas is out of keys, so no heals. They are pulling back because bad guy has to commit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Phobies. So bad guy has to commit something that's already on the board in order to make this happen. I have no idea why this obstacle... Like, we've demolished the vast majority of the map at this stage. But why the hell did this have to... Like, I guess to get the Inoculus here? That's not even worth it, because this is going to move up and laser it. It won't die, because nothing else can supplement it. Sivadas is protecting the heart. Good. Yep, we got the flying V formation here. Completely unnecessary. Look at the Gravediggers. What about them? That guy really hates obstacles, it's true. That's actually really funny. That's funny to me. You pause them both roaring? Ah, fair, fair. The victory screech. Yeah, I don't know what the hell bad guy's supposed to do here. You have a lot of time as bad guy. You have 5,800 health here. You have a long time before it actually matters, so if you want to set something up, you can. In fact, you could wait until these come back online and then start breaking more obstacles. But this is the kind of play that I was sort of expecting. You know, hit some of the obstacles, get the AoE splash. This feels unnecessarily aggressive by our hero. But then again, bad guy has... Because bad guy has split their forces top and bottom, they can't necessarily reinforce. And our hero has the first mover advantage where they can get in there, start to set this up. If bad guy tries to react, our hero will have the opportunity to back off. It's like, yes, they'll probably be able to kill this creep, but the whole team is here to invade. Like, the Chuck is in range to hit the Crushmore. Wait, do we have... We actually have a break available, so the Chuck can just walk up one and hit something. So, the Inoculus is dead. Now, that will open it up to getting shrunk by Oopsie Baby, if that matters. Assuming our hero goes for it, that is.
That feels like a breakthrough.
Instead, it looks like they're trying to prevent a backdoor here by bad guy, in case bad guy just decide to break this obstacle and sneak in. And truthfully, I don't know what does... Look at that laser. Down goes Inoculus, it hits the Clinico. 4-1 panic point advantage. Well played, Sivadas. Well played. Gravedigger protecting Chuck from Oopsie Baby? Yep. True story. Oopsie Baby instead goes down on Ginsting, which honestly, what does bad guy do at this point? They just die, right? They might lose this Crushmore, but even if they do, whatever hits it is likely to die. Because it's going to end up in range of Chuck. Oh, I take that back. They can... Oh no! Wait, did they not attack with the Hevo this turn? They might have, and I missed it. This was very well played by Sivadas, setting all this stuff up. Like, the creep play, as I said, felt overly aggressive, but ultimately it was not. It just didn't matter. Because they backed it up appropriately. 11 damage from the Jin Sting. That's adorable. That is adorable. I don't know that the Jin Sting had to come down here. I guess to body block. So that you couldn't hit Chuck twice and then walk this up. But obviously it does anyway. The Crushmore goes down, pulling this into position. I mean, even if Chuck dies, there's still a beauty. Plus, Bad Guy's heart is not in great shape. Looking at a little cardiac arrest in the near future. Full HP beauty, true. True story. Earlier, one of the kitties was showering you with love and affection. Did they immediately follow it by scratching the hell out of you? So after all of that, it ultimately was down to just the beauty. But as mentioned, full health beauty. The power down is still not available. 1100 health on the heart. Well played, Sivadas. This was the calculated ending that was mentioned earlier, because Bad Guy was forced to split their forces. They can't deal with both.
Exhilaration.
And just like that, ball game. Hero takes it down. Well played. That was actually very well played. What do we learn from that game? Chuck is pretty good. Chuck is pretty good. Beauty, still pretty good for anybody out there who's questioning whether Beauty was any good. You know, it doesn't make the same bwom effect when Beauty does it. It didn't even really make much of a sound. But that was definitely well played. I don't know, as far as adapting my own Phobopolis strategies, I don't know that there was much that, I mean, I don't have Chuck, I don't have Beauty. I could learn... I don't know. What do you think, chat and YouTube? Let me know down in the comments, but is the Gravedigger plus Crushmore worth it? I don't know that breaking all those obstacles really made much of a difference. It helped with the Chuck mobility. Hey, Pancake, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I typically just use Crushmore. I don't think it was necessary to break that many blocks. I don't think it was necessary to break that many blocks, but maybe. Lobberson to be good? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's basically been my strategy, is get as many lobbers online as I can possibly do. I went to sleep on my blankets and they went to play mode, began scratching you. Fair. I mean, they're kittens. That's what they do, right? Honestly, I can see the value in breaking with Chuck. That's fair. I mean, with Chuck, because you have, you know, he's so clunky. You know, he's just trundling all over the place that any limitation in movement is problematic. So I get it. I get it. Welcome to Land of Silly Little Guys. Yep. In both my matches with you and Phobopolis, Chuck was basically sandwiched and couldn't get away. I mean, that's fair. I think if you have... For me, obviously, it doesn't make as much of a difference. The Phobies that I'm using are more mobile. That being said, there is an argument to just have the extra mobility, but I think... So Chuck essentially becomes 12 keys. Because I think you are... Phobopolis is currently in the pool, right? Yeah, so if we look at the map, you're probably going to want to go Crushmore anyway, right? It serves two purposes. It's a lobber, and it breaks blocks. And on top of that, it's sizable. It already has a fair amount of HP. It does a fair amount of damage. You know, you're not going out of your way to get a block breaker that does nothing else. You know what I mean? Comparatively, if you look at Gravedigger, that's all it does for you. Gravedigger is basically... It's going to break a handful of obstacles and then Maybe build some, obviously. When I'm saying break, it could be build. But it's going to do one of those things, and then maybe cap a point here and there. Maybe get in one attack. Odds are it's never even going to hit anything. It's going to take a bunch of stray lob hits and then just die. However, if you look at it as Chuck is 12 keys, and you're just prepping for the Chuck, you're paving the way, then maybe it's worth it? I don't know. It's interesting. Sivadas, let us know if you feel that it has been worth it or if you feel like it was overkill. What are we going to do for variety tomorrow? I don't know. Got pretty close to finishing Ectoplasm. Yeah, I kind of want to play Ghostbusters, or I want to play For Honor. I kind of want to play For Honor. I unlocked some new heroes. We could play some Snap again. I don't know. I'll figure it out during the day tomorrow, basically, is what it's going to come down to. Alright, so our hero here on Xylo is Menace 1400. Highlight, question mark? Alright, get your clip buttons ready, chat. Let's see what we've got here. We get a Droney opener, which is fine. Obviously, I didn't double check the stress levels, but I'm guessing Menace is not at the appropriate level to have Snowball yet. Otherwise, clearly Snowball tends to be, unless you specifically want 6 on 2, because then you can't go Snowball 1-drop, get, say, Crushmore online. You have to have Droney, just because of the way the keys work out. But regardless, we're going to see Boom as the follow-up 1 key, which is going to help cap some more points. Droney, I think I can see where the potential highlights are coming in. Bad guy, you're not going to roll this Spud up, are you? Oh no, not like this. Chad, is this really going to happen? Oh, wait. We get a Mr. Tramples to match the Rambolina. All right, all right. We get a fat... Oh, chat, what is happening? There are so many boops. I'm out. Oh, this actually would have lived. You can't double attack with the Droney to kill this. How sad is that? So panic points are only tied. Bad guy sunk a lot of keys. Now, finally, panic point advantage. Sunk a lot of keys into Mr. Trample, so they couldn't necessarily back cap these other points. Oh, excuse me. I'm tired, chat. Daylight savings time kind of screwed up my schedule, as it generally does for everybody. Even though this is the one where it's fall back, right? So we got an extra hour. And Phobopolis match right now against a level 11 Alistor. Good luck, have fun. Using Smiley to force it back. All right. Got Smiley from a Terrifying pack. Nice. So we're just trading 1 keys here. Trading a little 1 key action. We're getting a Stabby follow-up. I don't know about this one. I don't know about Stabby on this map. I'm not a fan of Stabby on big maps. I mean, Stabby's fine. It's just difficult. Oh, baby, what's happening? What is about to happen to this bad guy right now, chat? Get the Droney snipe.
That feels like
Get the boop. Oh, you love to see it. That's pretty solid turn. That is a really solid turn. End up trading... Can't click on the vault. 7 keys for 3. Pretty good. Seems okay. Seems okay. This Rambolina is likely dead. I have to imagine it's dead. There's way too many keys for it to not be dead. Plus, there was a Mr. Tramples on the stem. Like, let's be real. Yep. There goes Rambolina. Panic point advantage is for our hero, and we are getting every good boy. We're getting Rambolina, we're getting Fetch, we're getting Cerberus. Notably, bad guy does not have a boop or a yoink on the table. Oh, we're getting Finnegan, the honorary good boy. This is a lot of damage up here. Just these 2 alone, the Cerberus and the Fetch. That's a lot of damage. The thing is, it's going to take Cerberus a significant amount of time to actually close the gap. Droney's out of the picture. So you can't necessarily get a cool boop here. Because you could, you know, jar to remove the A wall. If Droney was live, maybe set something up. We do get the Cerberus takedown on Eternal Night. Bad guy, you can't be putting Dimensional Phobies there. Oh, this is pretty cool. Get the block break here so that Cerberus can get all up on the heart. Takedown on the Cassowary. Oh, I thought they had the boop this turn, but it was too far. The boop here would have yielded a dead Mr. Tramples, and that would have been so ridiculous. That would have been so good. But ultimately, I mean, look at this. This is pretty nasty. The Cerberus might actually connect with the heart. $1,300 health, though. It's not that healthy. Sheep Hit secures a double kill and a Noxious. Okay, it's starting to look a little dicey. 5 keys left for a hero. 7 for the bad guy. It's looking a little dicey, chat. The straight walk up with the spider. The straight walk up with the spider. Get the yoink onto the Mr. Tramples. Oh, baby. Chat, look at this turn. This is a backbreaking turn. This is an absolutely backbreaking turn. We've been waiting for the Cerberus to connect and wondering what was going to happen. But this is what happened. That Mr. Tramples, that Noxious, that whole bad guy team having a bad day. You get the yoink to get rid of Tramples. The rumbling Cerberus just clobbers Noxious. And then, oh, by the way, Gravedigger chopping the jar. And yeah, that pretty much ends the game on the spot right there. Well played. I mean, I don't know what bad guy's supposed to do. You could sheep these things. They still have 7 keys. Still have 7 keys, but this thing is just going to tee off on the heart. Honestly, bad guy might not be out of it. I guess it's not impossible to win, but it would be really, really difficult. I don't know what they would need to actually take that, but that was pretty strong. Well played, Menace. Well played. That was pretty solid. I like that one. That was definitely a good one. Got some boops in that game. Got some yoinks. You love to see those. You love to see them. Alright. Now we got a Gilbo game. The grand return of Gilbo. Let's see what Gilbo's got for us. This one. Alright, we have the return of Gilbo here on Crypto? Wait, what? When was this? Is this the right game? This must have been when we had that weird rotation for like a few hours. Not that one? Okay. Is that not the right person? Oh, did you put in the second one? Oh, I see the second one. Okay. So it's this one. Alright, this is the actual return of Gilbo, our hero in the orange trunks. What are the notes for this one? Better game, Lamau. Also my first game breakdown back. Alright, let's see what our hero has in store for us. Let's see what we got in store. So, bad guy, no snowball, as we were talking about on, well, the game breakdown right before this. Interesting that Gilbo is willing to let Henrietta connect with the Murder Wing, hypothetically. Just got my first level 10 in Moffat. That's a big spider. It's a big spider. She's hunting, and she's hungry. So bad guy elects to not poison the Murder Wing, which I guess is fine. I was about to say that the Murder Wing is... Or, the Henrietta poison, even on the Murder Wing, is somewhat negligible, so who cares? But Gilbo opens up with a lot of flyers, or multiple flyers at the very least, and then a spider. Along came the spider. So we are going to see the Maggie go in. Obviously, the cat is going to die. They'll get traded out. And we have the answer in our own Miss Moffat. Grimes is always hungry for souls. True. So hypothetically, bad guy could have tried to go for a kill on the Maggie. You can move down, yoink, slide the Murder Wing up, and then get it. You take some damage on the spider, but it prevents the risk of the spider yoinking yours into the pit. We get a Hydra. That is suspect. I question your game plan, bad guy. The answer from Gilbo was a Cyclops, which is pretty tanky. It's tanking a significant hit from this almost 900 damage meatball. What? I don't know about this one. So, our hero has their pull online. Chad, what? I don't even know that you needed that AWOL. I think you get the yoink here, because it's going to try and put it in front of you, if it's possible. So I don't think you needed the AWOL here, but I understand the AWOL. Chad, this was... Oh, baby. Look at this turn. This is absolutely pour one out for bad guy. F's in chat. Bad guy got dunked. Like, you're just seeing tombstones for Phobie after Phobie after Phobie after Phobie. Yoinks up here. Maggie's down there. We're even going to get a Jin Sting to even remove this one key. What is bad guy going to get out of this? Maybe an AWOL. Ouchtown, population bad guy. That's brutal. Think about if it was Stairmaster, almost dead in one hit. The thing is I'm still of the opinion I like Stairmaster more, but it just ultimately depends on the scenario. Do you need to tank a hit? Cyclops. Do you need damage? Stairmaster. For example, what if you need to Heart Rush? Stairmaster is going to be potentially a better option. Or if you just need to kill something. If something has to commit into you, the Stairmaster will potentially provide more value. It just depends. I get the argument that, like, because it can tank more hits, it'll ultimately provide more DPS over time, but it depends on how much time there is. That's ultimately what I think it comes down to. Sorry, I got a ping in Discord chat.
Retort is sure as torture. Those that fear you make you stronger.
Just imagine how haunted the dead bodies of Phobies are. Could you have... I don't know if Gilbo has Droney, but I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say Droney could have been there to body block and then you boop, but you get the yoink either way. Oh, bad guy, like... Ugh. What are these turns? Oh my god, it's a massacre. This is an absolute massacre, chat. Could have taken Murder Wing behind Hydra and booped it with Fetch too. Yeah, there were a bunch of options. Bunch of options. Yeah, Gilbo, this man is already dead. Stop. You stop. He's already dead. Bad guy has 7 keys, 9 for our hero, but look at the board position. Look at this board position. Gilbo's back and strong, it's true. The rust has officially come off. Gilbo just coming out swinging. Bad guy apparently with the glass jaw. Good boy Fetch has been putting in work. It would appear to be the case. It would appear to be the case. Just absolutely brutalized here. Gonna put the murder wing behind Erratic and push it into the abyss on the last turn. Yeah. If it... Because they were here.
Damage for you and damage.
No, they had to be here. They have to be on the lava tile, and the Erratic wasn't on the lava tile, I don't think. It doesn't really matter. Evo 3.0 for the last set of keys. Yeah. I'll have to find a good map to use Speedolas on to do a bit of stream trolling. Okay. I mean, it's got to be a big map, or otherwise you'll never get them both online, right? 11 keys is a lot. On a small map, you're giving up an enormous amount of tempo to make that happen. Bad guy recognizes that you can't double hit the fetch, because otherwise you're just dead. Boop onto the lava. This is just awful. Evo 3.0 is just salt in the wound here. It's true. It's absolutely true. Every other turn, it felt like Gilbo just annihilated their entire team. It's like the whole team is dead every other turn. Just absolutely brutalized this poor person. This poor person did not know what hit him. They walked in front of the Gilbo train. GG. Well played. Just dropping the hammer. Just swinging for the fences with that one. Just absolutely pulverized the bad guy. Well played, Gilbo. Well played. That was a masterclass in domination. I think it's this one. Oh, excuse me. We got a penny drop game. Person whose replay we just watched? Okay, DT. So we get a penny drop game. Our hero here is Kratosss in the orange trunks, obviously going second on this map. I'm not quite sure what the notes mean, but I hope you made the men proud? I don't know what you're trying to communicate, Kratosss. I'm confused. But we will see. We will see what we've got in store here. We got an Oculus main. You can tell because an Oculus profile picture and an Oculus MVP. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. So bad guy has taken an early advantage on this map. Although Kratosss, they're not really safe here. They probably are. They're probably fine. 4 keys. The only way you could reach this is with a jar or a snowball. The supplementary force here is primate. I kind of like that. It can get weird on this map, trying to find appropriate lanes. But bad guy is going to lean on their advantage on the panic points and just supplement with an Oculus. But our hero here clearly still has leftover Phobies in order to take panic points, so perfectly safe here. And following up with Stabby. Other than an Oculus, this feels like what I remember from this map. Does bad guy get aggressive here? Really? Gesundheit? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Hope I made the man proud. Okay, fair. So, since the Inoculus didn't actually off the cat, it's able to continue recapping points. Again, bad guy is now going to have to commit something, like something that they don't want to lose, say the Cassowary, the Gesundheit, maybe even the... It's probably going to be the Eternal Night, but they have to commit something reasonable to this panic point. Now, that being said, the Eternal Night is able to connect with the Stabby, which is generally what I would want Eternal Night to be able to do. It's going to produce a lot of damage on it. Whatever kills it is not going to be happy about it. And the follow-up is Sheep. Everybody knows my feeling on Sheep at this stage. And I think that Kratosss is taking the right line here. Well, until that. I was going to say they're taking the right line by, okay, look, the Stabby's just going to die. What are we going to do about it? I don't know about sending this in, because then the Sheep now gets the double connect, including on an undead. This is just a dead primate, isn't it? Ooh, that's scary. Like, that's a pretty good turn for bad guy. Gets the recap, gets the double kill. The Sheep will go down. That'll be 6-7 versus 8. So we're pretty even on panic, or keys rather, not panic points. I like the bank here from Kratosss. I like the bank. We also had a bank from Bad Guy, which yielded a Hematic Ginsting, but obviously our hero can go over the top. But it is a triple panic point advantage Bad Guy. That was a mistake, ran out of time. Fair. That's fair. So we'll get we'll call it an easy takedown on the Gesundheit. We're really just trading this stuff out. The Spider has to come in to recap, and we get a Rocket Man. This is really interesting. So Rocket Man and Eternal Night are going to be how Kratosss plans to get back in this game. I don't hate the Rocket Man, but it is in range of the Inoculus. I would rather the Rocket Man be in between the Cassowary and the Jar. Then again, I doubt they're going to leave... Well, they can just leave this and body block. Luffy says they wouldn't have done Rocket Man here. That's when you know you're going next level. If even Luffy says no Rocket Man. That is like an entire dictionary, Taco. I'll read that in a second. So Bad Guy allows the Ginsting to get frozen. That's odd. 0 keys for both players. It's going to be these 4 Phobies essentially against these 2, because I don't think this Ginsting is ever going to reasonably get on. Well, the snowball play is cute. The snowball play is cute. But you do have a Rocket Man, like, standing right on your wiener. This Rocket Man is, like, standing right on Hematic Ginsting's wiener. Like, everything's in range. Yeah, the Hematic is absolutely dead. Feel like Bad Guy could have gone 1 drops to cap points and pulled back. As opposed to the Ginsting, or you mean after the Ginsting? I mean, regardless, I think they just don't get frozen. It's that simple. Like, just don't get frozen. And I know that, yes, Kratosss is playing too, right? Snowball wasted the fireball? Absolutely. It accomplished literally nothing. Because 4 range plus beefy Ginsting means Rocket Man just kind of dies. Absolutely. Imagine if the Ginsting got frozen like back here. Even if it gets frozen and it's back here, just the effort of having to advance, you'd be hitting them while they're advancing. We also have the Rocket Man Ascension here. Absolutely getting beamed up here. Yeah, Bad Guy. This was unnecessary. But we get a pretty sick freeze, ultimately. And that is going to lead to the victory here, because I don't know Bad guy needs our hero to make a pretty egregious mistake to throw this game. Our hero has to screw up real bad to throw this game at this stage.
A breakthrough.
I don't understand how the game takes 3 more turns. Oh, they completely just run away. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I mean, I think Kratosss played this well. I don't know that there was really much else that, other than Phobie choice. So basically, given that the Rocket Man came down, I think that this was played pretty solidly. I just probably would have gone with something other than Rocket Man. Get a little heart slapping action. Slap the Innocuous. Ball game, well played. Well played, Kratosss. That was pretty cool. Gave him no chance. Yeah, you get all up on the Innocuous, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do at that stage. Alright, so there was a viewer challenge. I know there were special rules for it. Let me fix the spreadsheet real quick and then figure this out. Alright. No 3.0 or Innocuous. Okay. Hey, Alan, what's good? Felt like my opponent could come back. Oh, yeah, I wanted to read this like, novel. So I gonzoed my Gin Sting and bees, 3 Phobies, killed a Murder Wing with some help from Eternal Night. Next turn, I killed their Boomer with Gin Sting, and their K9000 was left crippled. And then I killed their Cassowary with Bow Mangles, then sent out Hematic Gin Sting. My opponent had 7 keys total left, and I had 9 total. They had an Alligator with mostly full health, a Jar, a crippled Canine, and all my units were full HP. Seems like a pretty good turn. Seems like a pretty good turn. Alright, this may sting a little, so you gotta keep me honest, chat. No Innocuous, no Hevo 3.0. Gotta keep me honest here. Ooh, we're getting a little droney opener here. Get a little droney action. Droney and Boom is the cause of the day. Are we on level 1 Phobies? Probably, but these are level 1s. So we'll go with my usual opener. My general game plan is going to be a little screwed up because obviously I'm not going to use some of the Phobies that I typically do. So we'll see how I can adapt. Slept in the middle of the stream. Body felt much better now. I hope you're doing okay, Honda. Yeah, dogewhal said they're not going to use Chuck. Droney in middle is better here. I feel like capping the middle is the better plan, but I'm not sure. I probably should have sent this here, because now the Contortio can't reach the bottom point, and I'd rather have Cassowary up here in the mix, but it's probably not going to attack this turn anyway, so I don't know that it really matters. Get a little snowball action. So 420, 630, so you won't kill this. We probably don't do that. The reason being is they come in snowball and then one-shot this and then just recap it with this. And then what do? They'll sneak the Jar in the meantime. I'm not gonna come out ahead ultimately in that set of exchanges. I don't think anyway. So they could come up and beat up the murder wing. They won't kill it, but it's not great. I want the Freeze Amigo strategy to work. It's where I use Jeeves and Rocket Man, and then ultimately Yeti. Team Mr. Freeze. Was that a thing, Freeze Miser? Like Heat Miser? In those weird, like, stop-motion claymation Christmas things? Last night you woke up once an hour, back feels so hurt. I'm sorry to hear that, Honda. I hope you feel better. Your back is something you gotta take, I mean, your whole body is something you gotta take care of, but your back, absolutely. Like, it's funny, you know, if somebody says their back is hurt, it's like, oh, that must suck. Like, that's real bad. But you don't necessarily realize how bad a back injury can be until you've had a back injury. It can be absolutely debilitating. I find Rocket Man hard to use due to melee, and I want to use him mostly due to him being my highest leveled up ultra rare and Phobie, because the game loves giving me Rocket Man. I wish they would give me Jeeves and Blasto upgrade instead. Fair. Rocket Man does take a lot of precision to utilize. I mean, Luffy can obviously elaborate on it, but Rocket Man is difficult to use properly, for sure. I've definitely struggled with it myself. I haven't used Rocket Man in a while because I just haven't had a scenario where I really wanted it. I think it's fine against, say, Blastomatic or Erratic or maybe even Zappy or something like that. Well, a big, slow thing is basically where you'd want it, I think. You want it against a big, slow thing if you have the opportunity. Eight keys, huh? 8 keys. Five Phobies on the board. I will shortly have 4, because obviously this is not long for this world. Honestly, I've had some success both with Repeller and Morty on this map. I don't want to go Morty yet, but we probably will at some stage. I think we're going to get a Spider online. You only have 2-dimensional Phobies? Really? In your entire collection, you have literally 2-dimensional Phobies? It's not impossible for obvious reasons, but that is a very bizarre set of variant circumstances. Also, I should have repositioned the snowball. You have 41 Phobies and you only have 2 dimensionals. That's so weird. Get a little Barzilla action. Eternal Knight and Rocket Man. Both with really good pull damage. Yep, that's for sure. So I don't think I can kill both of these. Yeah, not even close. This is 420. You can... Could do that. Trying to figure out how we're going to deal with, Lechonk over here. I think it's too early for Daisy. But we do need to supplement with something. I don't know that this is what I want, but I want to get something on the board. Are dimensional phobies rare or something? I don't think they are. I haven't looked at, like, the rarity distribution between the different phobie types, but I assume it's roughly even. It might not be literally even. I mean, there's 141 phobies, so. But I assume that they're roughly evenly distributed. Is this a Rocket Man game, chat? Do we try and Rocket Man the Barzilla? It'll never happen, but... It's 2,800 health. That's 8, 12... I don't think we have enough damage. Whoop. Game, please. I'm gonna have to undo all of this. No, we're short. Oh, you know what we could have gone? We could have gone Rambolina. Well, no, we couldn't have gone Rambolina yet. $375, huh? We gotta make him think about it at very least. I kinda just wanted to go Rambolina. We'll see if it works. Finally got a Sucky upgrade from a free Jack. Nice. What's your Sucky up to, DT? What level? Rocket Man the Barzilla? I saw it too late. Mostly I had mechanical and undead phobies and some monster sprinkled in. Or monsters. I haven't really paid attention to that, like, what my collection is comprised of, truthfully, chat. Sucky's level 11, nice. I think mine's still single digits. See, that's the bigger thing. Scrungle's got it, where, like, I don't know that the phobie species matters as much, but things like how many flyers do you have, that's more significant to me. We actually haven't done that much heart damage. I want a 1 key, I kind of just want to try this guy out. Or 812. I don't think they can get the pterodactyl. 4-8. I don't think. I could be wrong here, and this could be very bad if they can. If you can get the pterodactyl, we're in deep trouble, but... How about Noxious? I don't have Noxious, if you were asking if I should use it. Klepto got to 11 yesterday? Nice. Also, what if there was a revived Phobie, but when it died, it turned itself into a trap, and then something steps on the trap, does damage, but then the Phobie dies? That would be interesting. Ooh, the Brony! I like it. I like it. Imagine it became a random trap. Oh my god. That, I don't... As soon as you say the word random, I'm out. Checking out. No bueno. Do not like... This is gonna get our entire team bronied. It's not even enough. Barzilla's a very big dummy. Yeah, Barzilla's a big dummy. Hot take, RNG is best suited for PvE games or games that don't directly compete with other players. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's probably generally accepted. Sometimes I forget Rambo and Trampo have 3 movement, and then when I realize they get very, very fearful. Yeah, they're pretty good. They would not be very good if they only had 2 movement. They would not be very good. They would have to cost way less keys. Maybe not way less, but definitely less.
I love the smell of fried Phobie in the morning.
You end up here. 1, 2, 3. So you can hit those. You go up here. 1, 2, 3. So we gotta pull back. Here. They have 2 keys left. Why waste the pull? Because I'm not going to need it anytime soon, and I didn't want to end up on lava. It was basically a ranged attack. You're letting all my secrets out, Alan. That's why this had to happen, unfortunately. Problem is that this is getting set up. And the Brony is going to come in and make this really nasty. There's some unfortunate things that could possibly happen in the very near future. I maybe didn't need to sack the cassowary. But yes, this is the game plan. It may not be a good game plan at this stage, honestly, but... Actually, wait. Yeah, I guess this doesn't matter. Guess that doesn't matter either. Nah, we're just gonna go for this. Gonna get bronied? I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. Got my Freeze Amigos, just got smileyed? Oh no. That's rough. Yeah, there was nothing I can do about the brony. Like, it's gonna come in, it's gonna get me, and I can't stop it. I needed the Rambo up one. That was a mistake. I need the Rambo up one. Alright, so we're obviously doing this. I don't know how much it's going to matter at this stage, truthfully, but... this could have been in a different spot. This was definitely a mistake. So that's 8. 8, and that's 11. Well, 13. Should not be able to kill this, I don't think. It's possible I can defend this, but it's unlikely. So I don't think if I boop here that the squiggles will die. I'm like 99% sure it won't. Possibly should have just stood Russell here to make sure that the panic point doesn't flip, but... Oh, that's really bad. It's a real good play. Really bad for me, but good play. Because we needed the Rambo just to boop things to buy us time. So they're going to get all the panic points. 1, 2. There's nothing we can... There's no way we can get there to stop it. When does their stuff come off? Oh, this is done already. So our stuff will reactivate next turn. Do we want the spider there then? Probably not. We do want this. Nope, that can't be there. Probably gonna have to be here. That has to be so far back because otherwise it just dies. At least hypothetically. Like, the murder wing could have come in and gotten it, or one of these could have gotten it. Taking a beating. It's a big beating, chat. Yeah, I think you have to kill the pterodactyl. I don't think you can let that live. And that pretty much seals it, because I don't think I can kill the Barzilla. The Russell could have been up here, which would have been helpful, but I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. We definitely couldn't have let the squiggles live. Honestly, Chad, I think I win this game if I didn't get the murder wing bronied. But for some reason, I thought it was out of range, which it obviously wasn't, so... Oh, that's brutal. Really? This isn't gonna kill it. Oh, I can't even do that.
Oh, that was so satisfying.
Yeah, I just don't see how I get this, chat. These two will kill Gonzo. I just can't kill the Barzilla fast enough. Can't get the Barzilla fast enough. Maybe sacking the spider here would have been better. If I sack the spider instead, the Gonzo just represents more damage. I mean, that's helpful. That's something.
Exquisite.
I don't know, we'll see. I think you might win this. I don't know if I come out ahead on the race. I might. It might. Because I got the spider poison on here, so that's a big chunk. It's a big chunk.
It's looking rather bleak, and your heart is pretty weak. But I believe in miracles.
But I believe in miracles. Is that what he just said? GG. GG, Doge. Never doubted for a second. That was pretty close. That was pretty close. The brony hit was pretty savage. As I said in the game, I think if I didn't get the murder wing bronied, I think I'm in a way... I mean, I'm obviously in a way better position because I would have been able to kill some of that other stuff long before any of it came in. But GG. Calculated, yeah, right? Barzilla sucks. Barzilla's okay. It's funny. Barzilla sucks. I really like Barzilla. But Barzilla is a big dummy who punches stuff good. It's just... I don't know. It's not... He's not good on heart rushes, though. He's not good on heart rushes, and for this reason. You lose out on like a quarter of his damage. Because you can't ignite the tile under the heart. So he's not as good at heart rushes. I don't know exactly what scenario you want Barzilla in. I think it was at DT, somebody was pushing hard for Barzilla a month or two ago. And really singing its praises. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was. And I mean, I can get behind the idea. Barzilla can represent a lot of damage. And obviously he's just a tank. But at the same time, it doesn't, I mean, we saw it there. You can't really heart rush with it because you can't close the game out, necessarily. If you can out-tank stuff or whatever, fine, but you can't ignite the tile under the heart, so you lose out on a decent chunk of the damage. Upgrade that high fiver dozer? I'll upgrade somebody. I'll probably wait until the pack opening next week to upgrade stuff, honestly. Just... I'll get the XP, and then I'll do it. Whatever. We get there when we get there, chat. We got this one. So we have somebody new to Game Breakdowns. If you want to get your own game reviewed, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. The link for that and the live stream, RTChompGG over on Twitch, can be found in the description of this video. And of course, likes and subscribes definitely help. But enough of that. We'll zone into Coulrophobia with our hero here, Chompie. I like the name. I like the name. The notes here are satisfying kaboom play if satisfying meant completely tilting the bad guy. Where is Onda? Barzilla's too normal to be good? That's kind of my opinion, Akune, is that it's too fair. In card games, and I mean, I know we've talked about it, Phobies is not really a card game, but in most games, the things that are good are the things that are unfair. Imagine still not having paddles / Gonzo Bonzo. That's a weird combination. So, this is an interesting opener. The one key into bank for Hevo. But bad guy. Bad guy is, I don't know what they're doing, but our hero here is doing kind of the expected. Hero is starting out just sliding them turrets across the map. Can I read the notes again? You want to hear it again? So our hero, Chompie, is saying there's a satisfying kaboom play. And by satisfying, they mean completely tilting the bad guy. Wait, what? Where does Beauty come in? Are you talking about Beauty versus Barzilla? Because that's not even a contest. Beauty is way better than Barzilla. Like, way better. Oh, you're saying that's why Beauty, yeah. Oh, yeah, because Beauty is, if you compare the two, I mean, that's an apt comparison. I'm pausing the game so we can get this thought out and I don't ignore the game. Like, Beauty flies. It has an ability. I mean, I guess you can count fire. It's dimensional. It's just better. It's just a better Phobie. Yes, there's scenario. It's not strictly better. There are times where you need the extra numbers from Barzilla, but like Beauty is pretty much better. All right. So I don't really understand what Jackalope King is doing in this game, truthfully, chat. I don't know. I'm also not sure about the Detour Bowmangles, but look at this. Panic point advantage for our hero. They have the Kaboom set up here, and Bad Guy can't really threaten it. They have the turrets here, although Stabby did take some hits. But they only have 3 keys. The Bad Guy's hosed. The game is over at this point, I think. The game is over at this stage. Beauty has AoE, Barzilla has fire, Hevo has both. True, but Beauty also has a higher DPS. So Bad Guy's electing... Oh god, is this the Kaboom play? This has got to be it, right? Question mark? Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know about leaving that out there unless Bad Guy just completely ignores it. Could Hevo have killed Kaboom when? Here? No, this... It's, remember, Hevo doesn't do that much damage, and this is the 3-cost one, Kaboom. So it's, I mean, it's not tanky, but it's comparatively very tanky. So we're getting the beatdown going down on Temptress. It's probably dead, so I don't know if Temptress was chosen strictly for the purpose of, well, I need to be able to tank all this. I think I can see already what the Kaboom play is going to be. And, yeah. Oh, Bad Guy, not like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kaboom, baby! Oh my god. Chat. The devastation that is this Kaboom play. This would do Onda proud. Bad Guy absolutely thought that they were going to survive this because, oh, well, I'll tank. No, you won't. Boom! Like chat is saying, 11 keys just like that. The fireworks. Well done. Yeah, that's absolutely clip-worthy. That's clip-worthy. Onda approved? Yeah, that seems pretty good. I mean, Bad Guy is banked to 6, but, like, we know how Carousel goes. We know how Carousel goes. That should be a point redemption. Kaboom, baby. I mean, that's a certified Onda approved moment. Over 2k damage from this thing. Takes your breath away a little, chat. It takes your breath away a little. Yeah, Chompie. That's fair. That's fair. Well played. Yeah, Bad Guy, I can understand. And obviously that was a concession. The keys weren't done. The heart wasn't done. I don't blame Bad Guy for conceding at that point. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. Kaboom is 3. I switched it with Morty. Wait, what? How'd you confuse Kaboom and Morty? Like, what? I'm confused about you being confused. Collection's looking good. Got a Klepto and a Smiley. Nice. Nice. Your dumb phobia idea, Trapper that can also go Invis, aka 2 abilities. I think, do we have any phobies with 2 abilities? I think we have like 1, right? I'm pretty sure there's a phobie with multiple abilities. And not like trivial things like, oh, well, Beauty has 2 abilities because it has an AoE on its attack. Yeah, I wasn't counting Beauty, but I feel like there's one. Is there one? Maybe I'm mistaken. Because a Phobie with 2 abilities would be pushing it. Yeah, I guess Trap Absorber kind of counts, because that is like an actual thing as opposed to just a modification of the ability. How much does Doom Doom cost? 5? Yeah. Yeah, Trap Absorber and I Spy. Yeah, I feel as though putting 2 abilities on a Phobie might be pushing it. I think that'd be pushing it. I mean, technically, flying, although this is a modifier, it's similar to modifying the damage. You know what I mean? Smiley has Reflect and the disease. Yeah, I can see that. So I guess it's not really unprecedented to have 2 abilities. So we don't have a Phobie with 2 active abilities. I think that's accurate. I know this conversation has come up before, because I'm getting a weird feeling of deja vu, but... yeah, I think 2 active abilities would be pushing it. Or probably... the abilities would have to be relatively meaningless to not cause problems, you know what I mean? Generally, activated abilities are stronger than just passives. Why do we not have a Phobie with 2 active abilities? It would be a nightmare to code. I mean, that's also a valid reason. It would probably cause some problems on the back end. Well, maybe not. It might be fine. But also communicating that information in client in the current interface might be challenging. Like, imagine trying to keep track of the 2 cooldowns. Yes, you can just click on the thing, but it's just a lot of information and the information about the abilities themselves to cram onto the cards. So, imagine a Phobie with 3 abilities. I mean, imagine a Phobie with 50 abilities. Probes a lot of the 130th Phobie might have 2 activation, who knows? It's possible. It's possible. I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous to see a Phobie with 2 activated abilities. I would be concerned about it, especially if it Sir Probes a lot, because that would give people who get Probes a lot an enormous advantage, hypothetically. I don't know. So our hero here is FlopYT. I'm assuming that's YouTube? I don't know. But Flop here is our hero in the blue trunk, zoning in on Red Rum. The notes here are super toxic, over-leveled opponent. So it looked like they had about 30 levels on our hero here, and I did catch that it was a loss. So shout out to Flop for submitting a game loss. We're getting an opening Hydra. Interesting. Why do you want more cringe Phobies? Aren't you sick already with aliens? Now you want more of them? No, devs work on balance, not making new stuff. We can talk about that after the game. They need to make new stuff. The new stuff is actually more important than the balance. Like, significantly. Because I don't think Phobies is really wildly out of whack balance-wise if you have reasonable collections for both players. There's issues like any other game when you're missing collections. So, I guess the toxic part here is that they're dropping a whole lot of one movers that do an enormous amount of damage. Cerberus Hydra opener is right. So I can appreciate the responses here in the Ray Chargels and the Thunder Rocks, but that's obviously not going to do anything of value against the Cerberus. But because of the banking from Bad Guy, it allows our hero to get some banking going. I don't think this Hydra dies, but it might, because you get 4 attacks in here. Oh yeah, this might be dead. So hero doing a pretty good job here. Following up with Cyclops. Alright. Honestly, as much as I bash Sheep, Sheep is a good answer here. Sheep actually answers Cerberus very, very well. You are clearly way more mobile. And although it doesn't have to go far to your heart, I think the sheep can take down the Cerberus, especially if they elect to try and run for the heart instead of killing the sheep. But triple panic point advantage for bad guy. Our hero's going to have to try and lay into the Cerberus. Unfortunately, Ray is just... I guess that was to body block for the Ray Chargels. It didn't have to be on the fire. I guess it doesn't really matter. Instead, they go for the Thunder Rocks. Makes sense. Clear stuff out and cap the points. Unfortunately for our hero, that's bad news. I don't really like the stabby follow-up either. So this is a good play. This is actually really well played because it pulls this into range so you can keep getting hits onto the Cerberus. But honestly... Okay, Gravedigger? Okay, Gravedigger can work. I can get behind this because Gravedigger can block off the Cerberus. But I think the damage on the Cerberus is less relevant here than simply capping some points back. You should get one, I think, is where I'm going with it. So, the follow-up is Hematic Ginsting. This is brutal. Even with the microscopic, which is not great.
Defibrillator. Defabulator.
This is going to yield some issues. Because all of this effort has to go into killing this Cerberus. Nothing's going to die to this immediately. Clinico as the answer? That's interesting. The Ascending Clinico. Cassowary is the penultimate phobie from Bad Guy. And then a Contortio. This is going to be... Honestly, I think our hero played this pretty well. They played this pretty well. I think maybe one or two positioning minor errors could have been modified to make this come out differently. But you can't really ask for more from our hero to try and make some of this stuff work. Back to triple panic point advantage, bad guy. And then it's just Stabby and Clinico. You're not even going to get to connect with this Hematic Ginsting. That's the bigger deal. Like, you can clear some of this stuff out, but there's just not enough time to actually kill the bad guy. Kill all their stuff. Honestly, if bad guy wanted to, they could probably run away and buy time if they had to. But I don't think they need to. I think just hitting this, moving up, attacking, and that'll be the ball game. Honestly, like I said, I think our hero played it pretty well. I think some of the mid-game positioning, whatever turn I called out that they needed to recap a panic point, I think mattered. Because the extra damage on the Cerberus probably didn't matter. But the survival of your heart absolutely did. So, I think the sheep could have been better, but okay, let's ignore sheep for a second because maybe the Cerberus is too close to the heart already. You don't have time. If you don't go sheep, I think if you cap one of those panic points, it saves some life for you. So that way, because you were under so much heart pressure that, and you could have almost won that game, I think, at the end. You just needed, like, one more turn. So if you cap a panic point, you would greatly decrease the amount of damage. Whether that was an option or not, we'd have to go back in and look. It's kind of up for debate. But yeah, I appreciate when people send in losses like that to take a peek at. Well done. Well played. Sending Clinico. Noxious to do a better job. Yeah, but not that many people have Noxious. Honestly, I don't know if Noxious helps that much there. I mean, you can get the ranged poison, but I don't know. Jeeves counters any one movement phobie. True. Me and me waiting for more Ghostbusters. Not tonight, Doge. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, Hakune is right. It's... The person who submitted the game was stress level 24, so... They're doing, like, all things considered, I think they played that game fantastically. Because clearly their collection is going to be smaller. They're under-leveled by, like, a lot. Even with bad guys somewhat trolling with, you know, the big clunkers in Cerberus and Hydra, it's still tough. It's still tough. And we obviously saw some of the things that were filling out their collection because they had a Ray Charles, they had a Cyclops. Those are not starter things. So, what was the other thing Hakune said? There was something earlier that I wanted to come back to. So, oh yeah, so I don't want to make this a huge discussion because we've talked about this a lot before, and this isn't directed specifically at Hakune. It's more for the benefit of everybody watching on YouTube. Likes and subscribes, by the way. But balance is not the most important thing in a game, including Phobies. Keeping people playing your game is more important. Now, balance can be a component of that, but honestly, more people are enticed by the cool new toy rather than rebalancing of old ones. If you think about it logically, a rebalance of a phobie effectively reintroduces that phobie and or more phobies into the game. So if you nerf something, maybe a bunch of others move up. If you buff something, all right, well, obviously that one moved up and maybe opens new strategies. Therefore, artificially giving people new phobies, because if you assume that some of them are useless, which I don't agree with, but let's say for the sake of argument, something is useless, then now it gets buffed, now it's playable. Well, you didn't have it before effectively because you never would have played it, and now you have it. Most people are not that logical. They won't think about the game that way. They only care about the literally new phobies. So, to that end, it's important to keep pumping new content into the game. Now, that's the problem with what I always say is how you fix the game. And it also ties into balance. So you can fix and balance the game via maps. Problem is most people are not going to be excited by, hey, we got another thing to replace Coolrophobia. Most people don't think about the game like that. At least I'm assuming that's the case. Most people are looking for the new phobies. That's why you see a lot of people screeching about balance in the official Discord and other locations, because they don't recognize that you don't have to necessarily screw with the numbers on certain phobies. And that is true sometimes. Don't get me wrong, like the attractors of the world, I guess old beauty, stuff like that. But I think you can buff and nerf phobies by manipulating maps. Now, in some cases, I think they do need to introduce new tiles to maybe more drastically impact things. But there's definitely ways that you know, like Phobopolis inherently forces you to pick certain phobies versus Red Rum, which wants something else. Not that that's a great comparison given that it's a big map and a small map, but you get the idea. Like I said, I don't want to make it like an enormous deal out of it, but that way people have it there to reference. All right, we're back on the carousel. Who's ready to go for a ride? Our hero is Rodizio? In the orange trunks, starting off with 4 keys, staring down an AWOL Boomer Sockassin opener. What? Chat, things have been really weird lately. People have been popping out some really bizarre stuff. So the answer from Rodizio, our hero, is double mechanicals. Makes sense. Makes sense. What were the notes on this? What's the point of having cards at such high level if you don't know how to use them? All right, so we got somebody else who is maybe wailing it up a little bit, our bad guy. Let's see how high level these are. This just looks painful, chat. That looks incredibly painful. I think that is more than 324 damage. That feels significantly more than 324 damage. That's a level 14 AWOL. Holy crap. 16. 14 compared to 7. Thumbnail? I don't... Do we want to make that the thumbnail? It's more of a toenail. That might be the opening clip, too. Chat, the phobia levels on this are too damn high. Why is there a muffin? Why did the muffin just heal Boomer? Chat, what is happening? What is happening, chat? We must protect this Boomer. I just don't... I'm confused, chat. It's a dead baby Snakey. It took a lot of effort, but it's a dead baby Snakey. Level 13 Electrocap. Wait, what level is a Sarkassin? 12. You know what Sarkassin reminds me of, chat? Although I guess it should be the other way around. That train horror game that's coming out. I forgot what the name is. You fool! You see, healing the Boomer makes it have more HP. It's so simple. It's like that show Invincible when there's an Omni-Man beats the crap out of him and he's just like staring at him like this. That was the meme for months. Choo Choo Charles? Is that the name of the game? It isn't out yet. I do want to try that game. That game looks ridiculous in a very fun way. So bad guy is just like feeding Phobies into the wood chipper. Because there's been a lot of Phobies that really had no excuse for dying. You watch the devlogs? I've been suggested YouTube videos about it. I haven't watched them yet. I kind of like going into games blind, as long as I have a sense of I will like this game, or I have an idea of what I'm getting into. I don't want to know too much about it. I want to experience it the first time. You know what I mean? So triple panic point advantage for our hero. Rodizio is just dominating this game. I wonder if this was async or arena. Oh, there's a Chuck. I'm afraid to look, chat. The level 16 Chuck, chat. That's a level 16 Chuck. Honestly, this could take over the game at this point by itself. I don't really get this. What is Rodizio going to pop out for 5 keys that you need to break that? Like, that maxes you out on Phobies. Why are you breaking that? Ouch. I guess the Murder Wing might have been offered up as bait. So that way you could immediately pop something out. I'm not sure. Presumably this Primate is dead. And then the Electrocat is probably dead. But that means Jin Sting is dead. Okay, the Electrocat is not dead. Level 15 Jar, by the way, chat, for the record. Your Fire Hand is 3 levels away from 16? That's brutal. That's brutal. The Woolly Bully. You don't see Woolly Bully too often. I was actually thinking about using that in the game against dogewhal earlier. Is the fear here that you're going to get shrunk by the woolly bully, so you move the Chuck? The Chuck can hit this. I don't... Why did that happen? Power down on the Chuck. Rodizio just methodically taking bad guy apart. Phobie by Phobie. Got him is right. Absolutely took him apart. Very well played, Rodizio. You can beat levels. It is possible. But it doesn't hurt to have him. Doesn't hurt to have the levels, chat. What's funny is that level 16 Chuck took 2 hits to kill a jar. Because of that woolly bully. Just unraveling the bad guy here. GG, well played, Rodizio. Well done. Think RT, if you use 8 keys to play Russell, poison does nothing and those 8 keys are wasted. Maybe. Maybe. Russell, I don't think is a meme, chat. I was really down on Russell for a little while. Because I was disappointed that the Rush Russell plan did not work. But the plan B of... Excuse me. Plan B of forcing Russell in late game scenarios has worked out on a number of occasions. It's worked out on a number of occasions. For the best card at the end of the game, I don't think Russell's a best card. But the thing is with Russell, so there were 2 strategies that I had in mind. One worked, one didn't. The original one that I wanted to try was if you rush Russell on a big map, say like a turn 2 Russell, your opponent responds with, oh, well, I'll go mechanical so they can't be poisoned. Then you follow up with a bunch of electrical phobies. The problem is your opponent could go like 1 or 2 electrical phobies, or excuse me, mechanical phobies, and probably just avoid your electricals, and then take your team apart because you had to sacrifice so much to get the Russell online quickly. And then the claw doesn't get like any value, because what are you going to kill? Like their first 2 drops, maybe? You might not even kill their first 2 drops, depending on what they were. So that plan fell apart pretty quickly. The second game plan that where Russell actually works is when you wait until they max out. Now, it could be 5 on a small map, it could be 7 on a big map. Either way, as long as you are not in a losing position or about to become like a really bad losing position. So if you're down panic points, but it's only 1 and your opponent can't immediately retake others without risking something bad, Russell breaks stalemates really well because you can just sit there and tank the heart damage for 3 or 4 turns, and then all of a sudden you've gotten a free Stairmaster hit on their whole team. What does a level 10 Russell look like? It looks like a crow with a skeleton head. I don't know what you were expecting. So, the thing is that Russell's poison is arguably negligible. Obviously, if they're... and that's why it's important to do it when they're maxed out. Because if they can drop a Clinico, Russell is basically invalidated. Especially if there's a healing spa on the map. Even if there's a healing spa anyway, Russell might be invalidated, depending on the way the board is positioned. So, you can... That's why I think Phobies, especially... breaking stalemates, comes down to a lot of collection related things, both levels and just do you have the phobie, whatever it is. And then you try and engineer scenarios where your opponent like, you box them in, and then, oh, you have to max out. I'll Russell. And because of the way that I orchestrated the game, the Russell takes over. You could do the same with Hevo. You could do the same with Chuck, or with Smother Mother, or Heartbreaker, or Beauty, or Mildred, or whatever. All of the big impactful phobies, you can, and as you go higher up the phobie cost scale, it's easier and easier to engineer scenarios. Like, you can envision the scenario where a Blastomatic is good. You can envision a scenario where Brony is good. You can envision a scenario where Beauty is good. Maybe not so much Dozer or something. But we're talking about the big game-changing phobies. You can set up a board state that you just... That's the ideal board state, and you take over the game. Every map is a spa map when you have Boolean. Not if you max out. And that's why it matters. Like, you have to be cautious, because some of them are more universal than others. You know, a Boss, a Beauty, even a Heartbreaker. Russell is very niche, even within the context of the things we're talking about. He's probably the most niche phobia, maybe behind, like, High Five. Where you have to set up, they have to be maxed out or are incapable of healing for some reason, because you killed their Clinico and Muffin and whatever before that. But if we're assuming large collections, they have to be maxed out, basically. And then you have to get value over the course of those 3 or 4 turns that the poison is ticking. Because, say, one of their 1 keys dies, okay, well, now their Clinico comes out and it invalidates everything you were doing. So it's tough to get it online. As far as the stats go, everything increases by 3% each time. So you can do the math. I have a spreadsheet somewhere that calculates it all out. I'd love to see you get any of the other 8 keys. I would love some of these, truthfully. I gotta use High Five more, but I think, like, I've used it on Moai. That's why I think people don't recognize, when we talk balance and metas and staleness, not to rehash the whole argument, but there are maps where certain phobies have the ability to be used. And yes, it's a niche scenario, but trying to make those scenarios happen is part of the fun of the game. If you max out Rusty, heal it with every healer, buff it with Gonzo and Scritch, put it on a stim, healing spot, and paddles at the Phobies team will personally IP ban you from the game. What? Edgar Allan is actually better than what? Russell? Every map has a spa, even if it doesn't. Maybe. Maybe not. You're on track to get gold pack. I think I'll get a gold pack. I hope I get a Heartbreaker too. It would be cool. Will I still play the wrestling game? What wrestling game? Best strategy in the game? Yeah, the Rusty strategy. Russell Poison kill Heartbreaker? Can it on level? It probably can, because I think it only has like 1100 health base or something, right? Thousand, yeah, it should get it. Should get it. Alright, chat, let's take a look. Who do we got next? I think we got a Renamon game. We got a Renamon game. Let's see what's in store here. Speaking of Russell. Alright, our hero here is Renamon on Step Right Up in the blue trunks. Notes here, this is a lower ranked game. Their Cerberus vanished into thin air. I forgot what I wanted to put instead of that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. 200 damage, 4 turns extra damage because dimensional 1k Heartbreaker. Yeah. Is Russell supposed to be an answer to Heartbreaker? Probably not. Because you could just heal the Heartbreaker or cure the poison. But so, Renamon is, I guess, expanding on the... So this is interesting. We've seen crypto openers with Gravedigger. You move up, you break the obstacle. That has sort of sort of evolved into you move, take the panic point with Gravedigger, then come back and break the obstacle. You can't go claim the point with Gravedigger on 1 here, but I don't know that it's worth doing it this way. I tend to break the top obstacle. That still lets you sneak a 1 key around to cap these points, or over here you can break this one. And then you can send the Gravedigger to cap the opposite point. So if you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, so you can't go there. What I've seen other people do is actually send the Gravedigger to this point. Now, given how Bad Guy opened, I don't think you want to do that, because it'll be pop, pop, meatball, jar. That might not be enough damage to kill it, but it would clearly be crippled. But I'm just pointing out the openers just to give some different ideas. I don't like putting the Gravedigger here because obviously there's a free hit here. Now, it does allow Bad Guy... Or Bad Guy allows the Henrietta to connect, which seems weird. They could have put the Murder Wing up where the Gravedigger is and hit... Where the Gravedigger is now, hit the Gravedigger, and then it was immune to getting hit by Henrietta. As it is, Bad Guy made an error. So they have a Poison Murder Wing, a 3-0 panic point advantage, but they walked the Contortio into Grimes. I don't know about that one, Chief. 4 keys for our hero means that you don't even have to double hit with the Grimes. You don't even have to double hit with the Grimes. Yeah, the buffet comes to you is right. Like, so now the Grimes is safe. It took a little bit of damage. We'll see what our hero does, but they could also send another 1 key out to just cap this point, and then it's even panic points, and you have a now buffed Grimes. It's already at 780 damage. Grimes doesn't actually need to kill that many things. Now, granted, this is a level 11 Grimes, but, like, you don't have to eat 15 Phobies to make Grimes threatening. You eat a Phobie, that's over 700 damage. That's a lot.
Glorious is glorious.
I mean, look at this. Because of the bank, Stairmaster comes out. This is something that you might not have been able to do with Cyclops. I'm not going to go back and count it because I don't care that much. Guess what? It's a dead sheep, and this game is over. This game is basically over here, chat. In all seriousness, you have a Grimes that's now over 1,000 damage, has 1,700 health, and here might be the most damning part. This obstacle is actually crippling. This obstacle can be absolutely crippling because our hero is going to claim these other panic points, and Bad Guy can do nothing about it. They're going to think they're going to be cute by sneaking this Henrietta in. I bet there's a Clinico in our future. You really want the Reaper? Grimes terrorizes people. It's not... I don't think Grimes is overpowered. But, like... I don't know what the Cerberus is doing here. I guess they think the Cerberus can tank and kill it. But yeah, this is probably going to get Clinicoed or at least muffined. But not before growing even further. The buffet, like, look at this, chat. This is a massacre. You know what's funny? I wonder if they're going to double move this in. Because if they don't, and they wait, hypothetically... Our hero could statue block both choke points. Oh, by the way, Grimes is at 1,300 damage. Alright, Bad Guy breaks the block at the top. Fair. Pops out a 1 key, so it's not a 4-0 panic point advantage, because this game would have ended in short order if they left that alone. They elect not to send in the Cerberus, though. No Cerberus. Honestly, I probably would have left the Bachelor there. I have no idea what Bad Guy could do at this stage. like how you could possibly get out of this. It happened, chat. Would you look at this? We even get a dozer. This game is inspiring. Living the dream with this. You have a Grimes, DT? I didn't know you had Grimes. Like, I think people overestimate Grimes, but I think Grimes is still pretty good. It's a distinction that is difficult to find scenarios to truly articulate. But basically, you can be overrated and still be very, very good. And I think Grimes is one of those phobies. Bad guy's just offering everything up at this stage, I think. You got Grimes months ago and you haven't used it?
That is the mark of a master.
I would love to try Grimes, because I think it has some interesting implications, but... Grimes just reaped a Cerberus, chat. Grimes just reaped a Cerberus. Also, by the way, whenever we see Grimes, we generally see it killing things and therefore getting the buff. It actually has two different attack animations. It has a regular attack animation and then the one we keep seeing when it actually gets the buff. I actually paused to look at the damage and then never did. 1,560 damage, chat. Ouchtown, population, bad guy. I don't like Melee much. My Grimes was low level for a long time. There weren't any good maps for it. I think there are a bunch of decent maps for Grimes.
The bigger the phobie, the harder they fall.
Honestly, I don't know if bad guy's intentionally trying to feed the Grimes just to see how high the damage can get at this point. $23.40, chat. This is the kind of thing I need to put in the thumbnails for the videos. Like, how high can the damage on Grimes get? And then, like, you know, super clickbaity crap. This is just insulting. $25.20. Wow. Wow. The irony of the Grim Reaper reaping a phobie literally named Gravedigger. Kind of ironic, don't you think? Their Cerberus vanished into thin air. Yeah, that would be an accurate assessment of the state of what just happened. That was pretty busted. Not gonna lie. Stay there and think about what you did. Yep, he's gonna have a long time to think about it. Forever is in fact a long time. Mostly did that to Gravedigger so it didn't run away so Grimes can kill it. I figured that was the case, Forgo. It was still funny. Get it? Grave goes grave, gravy. Yep. I got it. That game was gross and disgusting on a number of levels. Absolutely disgusting. But hilarious. Alright, chat, so we officially did all of the first round of games, so we're going to do another taco game. Normally, as I mentioned, I don't do multiple games for people in a weekend unless we hit this stage where we've gone through. We actually covered a lot of games tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tonight alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, We did 5 yesterday, apparently, and then 2 before that, so we covered a lot of games this weekend. Also, I was over leveled, but oh well. I mean, it happens. It happens. We all got to take a shower because of that game? Yeah. This one. Alright. I think this is the one that Taco said our hero here's zoning in on Xylo. What the... This is like a book. What am I looking at? What the hell are you talking about, Taco? Are you in chat? There's like a small novella written in the notes of this game. Well, let's see what they do. We're getting, I don't want to say standard stuff. It's a little weird that bad guy didn't send out a 1 key and then chose to not send out a 1 key again. Like, that seems suspect. Why didn't you just cap this point with a 1 key? You banked a 6 and then put a 5 drop on the board. What? I mean, I guess this is fine. So, you could kill the snowball. Not gonna kill the snowball. So, you could have gotten rid of the snowball by going onto the stem, I think. But, you'd end up losing the murder wing. I don't really like this because I think the murder wing could hypothetically die. I mean, there's snowballs up top. Jar probably doesn't have enough damage with Spider and Stem. It might. That'll work, too. I had a feeling this was going to do it. Bad Sushi making an appearance. Bad Sushi officially on the board. Now, there's already a Spider, so that means the Bad Sushi does have a non-zero chance to connect. Bruh, he's dead for real. I mean, yeah. You're not wrong. He's not lying. Bad Sushi is in fact dead. So we get a Clopster also. The Assassin of Jars, but only if you're over-leveled. And we get an Attractor. Oh, baby. Taco, you've got your work cut out for you. So we get a little breakage going on. I don't know about this one. Yeah, I don't really like this setup so far. I think you lose your Spider for free. Maybe you can, between the Bad Sushi and the Attractor, you can kill it. Cerberus. Chat, we've seen a lot of Cerberus tonight. Yeah, those are Taco's notes. It was so long. So the Sushi goes down, never actually connects. Womp wah. This looks like a Poison Quest game. Possibly. Wait, what is bad guy doing? What? Why? What did they do on this turn? So they pop out the Cerberus. What they needed to do was send something here, yoink this, to kill the Spider. Like you move here, yoink the Spider. This could have been up one and hit this once, just to entice your opponent to do something else. I mean, I guess then Bad Sushi, I don't know. This turn seemed not good. And then yielded this. That seems not great. Now, bad guy does technically get a bunch of keys worth in response. Now, the Clopster's going to go down. You got damage on other stuff. You cured the poison off the Cyclops. But Attractor's a big deal. Yeah, I'm with you, Luffy. Losing the Attractor like that is just painful. By the way, it's a 4-to-1 panic point advantage for our hero. The bad sushi was a trap. You got him. They've activated your trap card. Look at how much Cerberus drools. Like, you can see the slobber, but has anybody else noticed the pile, the puddle, the lake of saliva that's underneath here? Yeah, we get some honorary good boy in Slammerhead.
I needed that.
The Noxious was in the way for the spider. Oh, on the pole? Yeah, it probably would have pulled the Noxious straight forward. I wonder if there's an angle, like, what if you went up? Would it have pulled the Noxious to the fire pit and then the spider into the pit? It is a stream of good boys. We've gotten a lot of Cerberus. They haven't done very well. The slobber pulls up on his hand and he shakes it off. Yeah, that's probably what makes him do the shake, because you can see it hanging off his elbow here. Just zero respect from our hero here. Zero respect, all up on the heart. You get the quote-unquote better Cerberus in Hydra. That. I mean, we had the Gilbo game earlier on this map where Gilbo was just demolishing the bad guy left and right. Like every other turn, it was like wiping out their entire force. But this absolutely felt like a beating. There's actually a Cerberus retreating so that it can deal with Canine. How often do you see that happen? Ha! The block with the Gravedigger. I will say, bad guys trying to make a game of it. They're absolutely making an effort to make a game of it. I don't know that it actually matters, though. I get the sense that it's not. There's a TED on the stim. Level 9. Level 8. Is there really that much of a damage difference between these two? I didn't realize that. I didn't realize how big of a damage difference there was. I thought it was closer for some reason. Decent final attempts from Blue. I'd agree. But there were too many things that went wrong. Got a hard commit to the Attractor. I feel like there was more there. Please read the Tyson quote. Alright, hold on. So the notes for this game were, I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious, most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Mike Tyson. That definitely sounds like a Tyson thing. Also, I mean, look at this. This could be a thumbnail. Look at the fangs on Moffat. Enormous. Mommy Moffat. Bad guy did put in a solid effort in the latter half of the game, but Blinky be blinking, it's true. Slam her head boop because you can. And then Blinky slaps, close out the game. Well played. GG. Well done, Taco. Get a little heart punch in action. Will we ever get a crossover, Phobie? You mean crossover with, like, another property? I don't want to say never. But that question has come up before, and the way I answered in the past was, who's paying for it? So, for example, if I wanted to collaborate, like I wanted to do a Marvel thing, let's say, and I wanted to officially have something Spider-Man related on my stream, I would need to pay to do that. And depending on what it is, it might be exorbitantly expensive to have the rights to, like, redistribute it, do other kind of stuff. Now, think about Phobies. Let's say Phobies wanted to bring in Jason Voorhees. I don't have any idea what it would cost to get the licensing for Friday the 13th or whatever. But think about what the potential cost for that would be, and the fact that they would need specific rights to put the likeness in the game, have it redistributable, be allowed to sell it. Maybe they have to offer up a cut of all the sales, that sort of thing.
Time to check what your opponents have done.
It's tough. I think it would be cool, but I have to wonder what the contracts for it would look like ultimately, is what it comes down to. Would Phobies have to pay an enormous amount of money to insert arbitrary horror guy? You know, like how much money would it cost to use Pinhead from Hellraiser or something like that? Would it even make sense? Because say Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers or something from Hellraiser, you know, whatever. You add them to the game, does that even really fit? You know what I mean? I guess it would depend on what the crossover is. How about a Gundam collaboration? Gundam has multiple board games just like Phobies. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, Gears of War has a board game. Tons of stuff. Basically, not every property, but a lot of properties have board games. But again, the real answer is, what does it cost? That's the real answer. I mean, Smite's had a lot of crossovers lately. They have crossovers with freaking everything. So, depending on what I mean, they had a Slipknot crossover. It goes beyond just random-ass things for that game. But the two main questions are, how much does it cost? And does it fit Phobies? Because Phobies has a very specific aesthetic. Like, what if they brought in... I'm trying to think of something. Like Thundercats. Say they brought in Thundercats. Well, Fortnite's different because Fortnite's big enough to say, hey, do you want to be in our game? Pay us. To certain things. Like, that might actually happen. That Fortnite is big enough to demand those sort of things. Smite probably is not. Phobies is absolutely not. They would have 100% have to pay to utilize it, I think. Or have, like, they give a cut of the sales for the skin or the phobia or whatever to it. Like, let's say they did a crossover with Thundercats and it was just me making something up. That's not a good example, but, like, what if the Thundercats Phobies were actually really good? Like, they are now the new meta. Would that be okay? I think people would be annoyed, honestly. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has crossovers, and their last DLC character was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Super Smash Bros. Is inherently a crossover. Like, that's the whole premise of it. I think that's a different story. How about Attack on Titan? I don't know much about that. I don't know, like, I know of it, but I don't know anything about the property. Why is my best phobia Bad Sushi level 1? Honestly, I've been forgetting to level it. Like, when I go to level, I just kind of level things as I see them. I don't have, like, a rhyme or reason. Fortnite is a game where you have Batman hitting Gritty and Iron Man hitting a 360 no-scope on Naruto while Goku's 3,000 feet in the air chilling in the sky base. No, he's dropping Kamehamehas on people. Or, like, I don't know if it's really a Kamehameha. It's like just a laser beam in that game. But yeah, Fortnite, similar to Smash Brothers, is now in this mode where people know it as the crossover thing. So I think it's easier to get collaborations with other properties. I wouldn't inherently have a problem with Phobies having stuff if it were skins, I think, which goes back to the skins problem. I would actually be kind of irked if a crossover, say they did a crossover for the 1-year anniversary, and they're like, well, we're doing this collaboration with whatever. Here are all the new Phobies that are specifically characters from whatever the other thing is, and they're all attractor level Phobies. I would kind of be pissed, because it's pushing out the Phobies that I like. It's kind of, and is it the end of the world? No, but it's similar to Mortal Kombat. I didn't like the horror characters in Mortal Kombat 10 as guest characters. I thought it was dumb. Now, I like Alien and Predator, so I was okay with them being in the game, but it still felt a little weird. Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11 feels less ridiculous, especially given what they did in Mortal Kombat 11. And plus, I've had time to, like, warm up to the guest character idea. But in general, I don't like guest characters personally. I want the characters that are, their home is the property, to be the main characters. The game has moments where you got the Predator holding the Infinity Gauntlet or some legendary sword, pulls out the Master Sword and defeats Thanos, saving Hyrule. I don't think they have a Legend of Zelda crossover, but yes, I think Alien and Predator are in Fortnite. I've thought about streaming that game, chat. I don't mind it, the no-build version. The build version is stupid. It's just dumb. But it's a third-person shooter, so, like, it's fine, like, it's competent. It's not my favorite shooter. Not even remotely. But as far as crossovers go, like, if they do it, I'm fine with it. I think it's just going to come down to, unfortunately, real-life stuff, like logistical things. How much is it going to cost? What's it going to require to design something that all the parties... Like, it's an involved process to do this. Now, Fortnite also has, or Smash Brothers also has, the pipeline to do these sort of things. If Phobies had to suddenly design a Phobie-esque version of insert thing... Remember, it has to get approved by the license holder to say, yes, you can use it in this way. They're not going to just say, yeah, you can use our thing and turn it over and have them turn loose, so. I need a misanthrope skin where he's a can of beans. If you don't like building, just play PUBG. I'm resisting the urge to go crazy. I have never played PUBG. Everything I've heard about it sounds terrible. I mean, the idea of BRs in general, I don't really like them. They're fine. I think Hunt is... Honestly, Hunt has kind of pushed me, like, sold me on the idea of BRs more. But I think Hunt is the best one that I've played, because you don't get the tense feelings that you get in Hunt in the other ones. Part of it's the cartoony atmosphere and the silliness, and that's why, like, the building in Fortnite always took me out of it, but it's also kind of silly. Ghostbusters had a crossover with Fortnite? I wouldn't be surprised. Name something. They probably had a crossover with Fortnite. I think that's going to do it for tonight. We'll call it here. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing some variety. I don't know what we're going to be doing yet. If you have suggestions or you want to see certain things, let me know in Discord. That goes for YouTube also. If you want to see other games or what kind of content you want to see, let me know in the comments here on the video, or hit up the Discord. The live stream links for those are in the description. Of course, likes and subscribes always help. But that's going to do it for tonight. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.